Oh, hi, this is Hedy again. Well, today I'm gonna make a video. I'll try to make it short, and I'm gonna explain something in the Quran, the holy book of the Muslims. It's for everybody, not the Muslims. It's for everybody. Everything is in this reality we call is for everybody. Can see it, can read it, can understand it, can reject it. Okay. But in the meantime, I'm gonna explain the Admiralty Maritime Law Act in the Quran. Okay. But this is the first time whoever. Of course, I'm gonna start with English, then I'm gonna finish in Arabic. But what I say, the Muslims, they don't know, even the Arabic speakers, they don't know about what I'm saying right now here. So with the proof, I'm gonna explain the proof. Okay. Because a lot of things are falsified through the meaning of the language. That's the problem we have in nowadays. It's the language. Okay, the language we understand, the language we speak. It's not the tool, real tool to understand where we at now. Okay. Okay. There is a sorry. There's a surah in the Quran chapter. Okay. It's named Kaf, Surah Al-Kaf, Surah Al-Kaf, okay? Surah Al-Kaf, Kaf, Kaf, K-A-H-F, Kaf, okay? The Kaf means the in our common language, Kaf, it's we call in English cave, cave, okay? But you can go to the translation, they're gonna say the cave, because most of the Quran, 90% of the Quran was translated in literally. That's the problem, okay? And I'm gonna write down what's every verse in the Quran in that chapter, Kaf. Maybe they say L or Al here, don't matter. Al Kaf, Al Kaf, and I'm gonna say what they translate, how they translate the verses. Then I'm gonna say my interpretation. Okay, that way I don't want somebody to come on jumping up and say, "Oh, this guy he's making tricks, stuff like that." I'm gonna say what exactly has translated. And you get Google. You go right now to Google Surah Al-Kahf, Google in English. Then it tells you the translation. Okay, so so for me, before I start, of course, whoever speak Arabic, after English, I'm gonna go back to Arabic. It's a little bit hard because the first time I'm gonna say something, the Arabs, they don't know about it. Some words, they don't understand it. Some terms in the Quran, we use it, we understand it, but it's not the right term, not the right meaning. It's been falsified through the time. Okay. Okay. And it's a little bit hard. I have to explain something to the Arabs or Arabic speakers. In the meantime, I have to translate or interpret it to the English speakers, okay? But let's start here. So, you know, the Maritime Admiralty, the Maritime Admiralty, the Marine Maritime, the Marine Admiralty Maritime Act or law, okay? قانون الأميرالية البحرية, the commerce law of the sea. Okay, so let's start right now. Okay, this surah or chapter in the Quran called Kaf. cave. Okay, in our common language we say kahf, it's a cave. Okay, but the language of the Quran, it's not the language we the Arabs speak. Not necessary. Yes, we do some, we speak some or use some words of the Quran, but some words in the Quran, they're not just in the Arabic society, the Arabic people speaking. Okay, there's some words in other languages is part of the Quran language. Okay, this is the trick. Is very tricky over here. Okay, so al-kahf. Okay. Uh, in the meantime, I'm gonna say the verse in Arabic and not translate it. Write down only the translation in English, so I don't have to waste a lot of time. The Arab, they know those verses by heart, so they can go back to the Quran and look at it again. But I'm gonna write the number of the surah and the Surah Al-Kahf. Okay, the surah number 9. Number 9. Okay, number 9. Okay. أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا. Okay. Oh, have you thought that the companion of the cave and the inscription were among our signs a wonder? Okay. So the verse I'm gonna write here in English is the translation in the Google. It's not my translation. Okay. Right here. Or have you thought that the companion of the cave, أصحاب الكهف, cave, and the inscription were among our signs of wonder. Verse number 9. Okay, Kahf, Surah Kahf, Surah Kahf. The Kahf. Okay, cave. They call it cave. Okay, for me, I from where I understood what I was trying to understand this surah. It's very difficult. It's multi-dimensional phenomenon in this surah. Okay, but I come up to the conclusion the cave means this is the first time the Arab or Muslims are gonna hear this. The first time in their life in the history. Nobody say that. I'm the first one who I'm gonna say it. Okay, the cave, it means magic, the matrix. Okay, Kahf, the matrix. Okay, أصحاب الكهف والرقيم. الرقيم, which is they said inscriptions, is the script. Okay, the matrix, the script. Okay, let's go explain the rest of this video. So I أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف, it's like a question. أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا. Okay. Finish this. Let me say this. The people, the same entity, the same people who interpret the Quran are the same people who wrote the Bible. So we are on the same ship. We're in the same ship. Okay? You hear it? Same entities, same people who interpreted the Quran, they are the same people who wrote the Bible. Okay? So there's nobody better than the other. Except if you go back to the Quran and use the right language, the accurate meaning of the language of the Quran. Okay? So what happened? Okay, here's the verse number I think number 62. Yeah, the verse number 62 in the same chapter, same surah, number 62. Okay, number 62 says, فلما جاوز قال لفتاه آتنا غداءنا لقد لقينا من سفرنا هذا نصابا. Okay, so when this is about Musa, the prophet Moses. Okay, Moses, he's the story. If I have to go back to the why these verses or why this surah being revealed, it's gonna take me a lot of time because I cannot miss some other information. I have to put all the information. But my goal today is to go to the Admiralty law. That's my point of this video. It's not all the explanation of Surah Al-Kahf. Okay, so I don't want you to get lost, so let's just stick with these verses for now. فلما جاوز قال لفتاه آتنا غداءنا لقد لقينا من سفرنا هذا نصابا. So one day Moses and his companion or his friend or his whatever he was with him, okay, a young person, so when they had passed beyond it, Moses said to his boy, bring us our morning meal. We had certainly suffered in this our journey much fatigue. So what happened? Moses, he was looking for someone, okay, because God, Allah, he told him, there is someone who knows better than you. He got more knowledge than you. You have to keep looking for him, so you learn from him. So he was traveling. He was traveling with his boy. So and once they passed that spot where that person, the knowledgeable person, is supposed to teach him, they passed that place. Then when Moses asked his boy for, that's the translation in the Quran, the translation in the Google. It's not mine. I'm just saying what they said. Then I'm gonna explain. Explain exactly what I understood from these verses. And then he said, "Bring us food, meal or morning meal." And he had certainly suffered that we are tired from our journey. Okay, قال أرأيت. Then the boy, he replied to Moses. Okay, قال أرأيت إذ أوينا إلى الصخرة فإني نسيت الحوت وما أنسانيه إلا الشيطان أن أذكره واتخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا. الآية 36. Okay, the 62 is the one I already mentioned. Now I'm gonna go back to 63 because 60 is not on board. 63. Okay, the verse 63 from the same chapter. قال أرأيت إذ أوينا إلى الصخرة فإني نسيت الحوت وما أنسانيه إلا الشيطان أن أذكره واتخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا. Right here is the Admiralty law. Right here. It's in the Quran. I know who's translated this, who misinterpret these verses, who interpret the whole Quran. The other people controlling the world right now. We call them Vatican. We call them, Illuminati, all of them. Okay, so somebody's gonna jump up and say, okay, well, no, that's not wrong. No, I'm gonna prove it right here. So if you wanna make a comment to retaliate or say something wrong against what I'm saying, just write down the proof, explain it. Okay, what is what I'm gonna do right here. Okay, and in English, he said, did you, when he asked him about bring us meal, so we're tired, we want to eat, bring us the food we eat now. He replied, the boy, okay, he replied, he said, did you see when we return to the rock? Okay, when we retired to the rock, indeed I forgot the fish, and none made me forget it except Satan, shaitan. We call shaitan in Arabic. You guys call it Satan in English. That I should mention it, and it took its course into the sea amazingly. Okay, I'm gonna repeat again. This is very, very important verse in the Quran. If nobody understands this, we're not gonna understand nothing. We're not gonna understand the what we call reality. We're not gonna understand what is mean the matrix. We're not gonna understand the Admiralty law. Okay. He said, "Did you see when we retired to the rock? Indeed, I forgot the fish, and none made me forget it except Satan, that I should mention it, and it took its course into the sea amazingly." Okay, this is the translation in the Google. I got it from Google. Yeah, you can get it from any book. It's the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna write here now. Okay, the boy, he replied to Moses. Okay, he referred to the boy. He said, "Coach, did you see when we retired to the rock? The rock, and none made me forget it except Satan." Except Satan, that I should mention it. Mention it, okay? And it took its course, and it took its course into the sea amazingly. To the sea. You know the sea, right? Ocean. Amazingly. Okay. Okay. So, in Arabic, I already mentioned it. So, قال أرأيت إذ أوينا إلى الصخرة فإني نسيت حوته وما أنساني إلى الشيطان أن أذكره. Okay, here's what they said. Okay, right here. Okay, it's very important. Okay, when they retired to the rock, they went to the rock and rest, and none made. This is after they passed this spot, this area. Okay, So we're talking about multidimensional here. It's not the point. It's not. I don't want to explain a lot of things here. Even the Arab, they don't understand. They think Surah Al-Kahf, it has something like a trip happened between Moses and his boy and the person he met. This is something like happening in the history. No, this is multidimensional. It has to do with the future, with now, exactly now. Okay. It's like has to do with the end of the time. We call it the end of the time, but it's not the end of the time, but the end of a certain time. Okay, a period. Okay, we call it the yom. Yom. Yom means in the Quran period, not day. No, it's a period. But the period could be a 1 day, could be 1,000 years. Okay, well, okay, what happened here? What they said. And it took his okay right here when you tied the rock and we forget except Saturn. I should mention no hold on, it's I missed something. I forget the fish. Yeah. I forget the fish to the rock and I forget the fish right here, and I forget the fish. Okay, that's fish, right? Okay, I missed it. I missed this sentence right here. And I forget the fish, and then none made me forget it except the Saturn. Okay, what happened? The fish. This is the tricky part. Okay, the fish in this verse in Surah Al-Kahf, it doesn't mean fish. Fish in our language, الحوت. In the translation is from حوت. Okay. الحوت in our common language we speak now. Like say if I want to say in Arabic to somebody that I had fish last night, we say كليت الحوت, أكلت الحوت البارحة. Okay, we say حوت for fish, right? But in the language of the Quran, the حوت is not the fish we eat. It's a boat. So the Arab, whoever think they speak Arabic, they know the Arabic of the land, the Arabic of the Quran. They actually don't know the Arabic of the Quran. The Arabic of the Quran, it's all over the language. All the languages of the world, you will find the Arabic of the Quran. It's not has to do only with the Quran, people who speak Arabic. No, for all the nation, all the people, all the tribes, they got some words, and it's has to do with the Quran. وأنزلنا القرآن العربيا. Okay. The boat. I try to find the hoots in other languages. It's very hard. I just went to some main language like Spanish only, Latin, Spanish, but hoot is phonetically, it sounds like hoot. Okay, hoot. This is what I said. I said hoot is a boat, but they say it's a fish. If translation, you're gonna find a fish, but I say it's a boat. Okay, what happened? It sounds hot. It sounds like hot, like a hot here, like hot, like hot. Okay. Cottage, cook, like Pizza Hut. Okay, but the I try to find other languages like I went to Spanish. The Spanish language says flota. Okay, the boat. I went to look for a boat in Spanish. Old Spanish is flota. Even Old English, flota. Okay, flota. Okay. So I don't want to. Okay, the flota, it means a boat. A for somebody speak Arabic, boat is قارب, قارب, or a ship. Okay, so you know, boat is the same thing like a boat ship. Okay, قارب أو باخرة. Okay, flota. In Arabic, like in Morocco, we say حوتة, حوتة. We say one fish. We say in Morocco, where I'm from, حوتة, like حوتة, like حوتة in English, حوتة or حوتة or حوتة. Okay, like this. حوتة. It's a Moroccan slang. Okay, even in Arabic, I think, yeah. Because Moroccan is a dialect from Arabic. It's just a slang from Arabic. Okay, حوتة, flota in Spanish means a boat. Okay, so it's very similar. حوتة. If we take off FL, we put H, it's حوتة. حوتة, flota. Okay, حوتة, flota. Okay, something happened in the past. Something or someone, they play with the language. They play with our language. Something happened. It's like they made the language. They made it all over other languages. You know. Now we have to go to Latin, Latinia. Even I think Latin is Satin. You know, you take off L, then you put the S. Okay. Even Latin means, I don't want to get into this subject, it's very complicated. Lati wal Uzza wal Manat. Lati. This Latin Satin has to do with a lot of Arabs before the Islam. Okay? And I think those Illuminati, they have roots from Arabic. But long time ago, not now, not before, way before even Islam. Okay? But they don't know that. That's why they stick with the language. They use Arabic language. Okay? What happened so you saw this one. You just have to add this. I forget the fish. Okay, and I forget the fish. And none made me forget it except Saturn, that I should mention it. And he took it course into the sea amazingly. Okay, what I said the fish is a boat. Okay, I didn't say that they said a boat, they said the fish. But here, okay, here they falsify the translation literally. Okay, when I say it's a boat, I say it's a metaphor. Okay, it's like we call in Arabic kinaya. Okay, but here they falsified the translation literally. Okay, it's like I said sit down. I'm sitting down. They said he's sitting up. Except the Quran said down, and when he translated, he said sitting up. So literally, they falsified. Here is I'm gonna intermit the translation English and Arabic at the same time. So bear with me, please. So قال أرأيت إذ أوينا إلى الصخرة فإني نسيت الحوت وما أنساني إلا الشيطان أن أذكره واتخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا. Okay. واتخذ and he took its course. I have to add its course into the sea amazingly. The ocean. Okay. واتخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا. Okay. واتخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا. الناس اللي كيتكلموا باللغة العربية يعني كيف هو قال القرآن قال واتخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا. ما قالش لن يقول واتخذ سبيله إلى البحر عجبا. لو كان حوت سمك حيوان. اوكي بطبيعة الحال لأن الناس اثنين مسافرين ما غاديش يوديو معاهم الحوت يعني مطبوخ، فهمتي. حتى الحوت من الأشياء اللي ما تسافرش بها، لأن كتولي نتنة، الريحة ديالها كتخناس نقولوا، فهمتي. يعني الحوت ملي كنسافروا ما كناخذوش معنا الحوت آخر حاجة خصك تاكلها في نفس اليوم. الحوت لما يطبخ هما قال لك ربما الحوت شمشوه ولا كما نقولوا يعني خلاو في زمان كان السمك ولا هذا اللحم كيخليوه يتشمش ويملحوه تيبقى صاين واحد المده طويله، ماشي مشكل. اوكي، على اي حال، فاتخذ سبيله في البحر، واتخذ سبيله في البحر، ماشي لم يقول واتخذ سبيله الى البحر، كاين الفرق. لما يقول اتخذ سبيله الى البحر، سبيله الى البحر، نعم غنقولوا هنا حوت، غيكون حوت سمك. انا نحاول نترجمها باش نوضحوا. اوكي، ولكن اتخذ سبيله في البحر، سبيله في البحر يعني هو كان في البحر. هو الحوت البوت القارب كان في البحر. اوكي، قارب من قربة. اوكي، قارب. اتخذ سبيله في البحر، يعني الصخرة من الانسان توصل مجمع البحرين، حتى اذا بلغ مجمع البحرين كاين الصخرة هي اللي غادي تقدر تعقد الاوتاد لهذا القنب، تسموها القنب، تعقدها باش تضبط، تحاول تحافظ على القارب ما يمشيش يضيع في الماء. اوكي، هنا قال لي فاتخذ سبيله في البحر، لانه هو في البحر سوف يتخذ سبيله في البحر لانه في البحر. ولكن لو كانت السمكه تكون اتخذ سبيله الى البحر، اوكي. اوكي، انا نروح دابا نحاول نترجم الناس بالانجليزي. اوكي، here what happened, he said, and I forget the fish to the rock, to the rock, and then I forget the fish, and I forget the fish, and none made me forget it except Satan that I should mention it, and it took its course into the sea amazingly. Okay, the translation here is wrong. The Quran doesn't say into the sea. He said in the sea. واتخذ سبيله في البحر, or at the sea. Rather we say at the sea, because he was the boat, he was in the sea, he was in the water, he was in the body of the water. And the rock, you have to make the rope or something so you can hold the boat, and you tie it with a rock. And then he went amazingly. They said amazing. This is the most important again. Okay. And he took its course to the sea, or at the sea, amazingly. This is what made me make this video. Okay. They said amazingly. We said okay. Then what happened? I went to Ajaba. Okay. And I went the word Ajaba. I went to Google. I said I want to know Ajaba because it's تخذ سبيله. He went into the sea. Ajaba. It's amazingly in Arabic, the common Arabic, and it's in the translation. But I want to know this, what does it mean, Ajaba. I want to know this one. What does mean amazingly into the script of the Quran, okay? And what happened when I went to Google and I said Ajaba, this is astonishing. When I put in Google Ajab or Ajaba, okay? Ajaba. Okay? You know what it gives me, Google? Admire. okay? Admire, okay? Or admiralty, عجبة, عجبة, okay? عجب, عجبة. It's that's when we put alif here, you make it like adjective, okay? Okay, it's an adjective. Admirably, okay? Wow, I say, what is this? Admirably, but I'm sure the Arabs, they don't know this. It's in the Google, but nobody probably discovered it. But you can go to Google and put ajab in English, or admire, or admirably, or admire in English for Arabic, and then it's going to give you ajab, ujab, or something like that. Ujab, yeah. Ujab, it's the same thing. Ujab. Okay? And admire, okay? One thing is right here, admiral, okay. One thing here in the word, the admiral, okay, admiral is admiral, okay, admiral, or admire, we can say admire, yeah, ajab, he weren't, so the meaning of the, it's not amazingly, not supposed to be amazing, okay, it's supposed to be admiralty, or admiralty, okay, so it's a boat, it's a ship. What it says here, fish, it's a boat, ship, okay. Admire right here, Hadi, admire. There is a word in admiralty, you know, admiralty, or admire. There's a word amir in it, okay. Amir right here, amir, okay. If we take off D and this says amir. And amir in Arabic is a prince. Amir is a prince, okay. But in Quran language is the king, okay. Bear with me here. So we have to understand the language of the Quran. The Arab, they don't understand it. Nobody wants to talk about it. But I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna expose it, okay. In our language, in this language we are speaking, even we are translating in scripts, mostly the Quran, it's not the language in the Quran. Quran says Malik, okay, and we, in this our common language we use is Amir in Arabic, which is in if we translate Amir in English is a prince, okay. Okay, and Admiralty, okay, الاميراليتي, القانون الاميراليتي, الاميراليتي, okay, got it. Sorry, there's a chair here bothering me with standing. And so الاميراليتي, امير, قانون, okay. Somebody's gonna jump and says, because I got a lot of people, I got especially the clone, I got a biotech clone in my channels, okay. They used by Moroccan governments, so they jump in, they don't know nothing, and I don't know what they want, but it's a bad business. It's a bad business. Stop cloning Moroccans, please. That's a bad business. They didn't do a good job, okay. So the Admiralty, Admiralty is Malik. الملك, let me go back to Arabic again. منين لما سأل موسى الخضر, okay, هو الخضر, okay, the person with the knowledge of Khidr, which is Isa, okay, the person who went went to Moses went with the person with the lot of knowledge into that trip. Okay, I'm not gonna say the other details. So it's gonna take me a long time. It's what we call, you guys call it Jesus. No, I don't agree with that name, but I say Isa. In the Quran it says Isa. I have to stick with the Quran language, but I can tell you what you guys mean in every word in the Quran. So when we say Isa, you guys say Jesus. Okay, okay. Isa in the Quran, but the person who was anonymous is Isa. Isa, he was gonna teach Moses. Of course, somebody told me, no, Isa, he was after Moses. No, this is a multi-dimensional chapter. This is the matrix. الكهف هو الماتريكس المصفوف. Matrix. Okay? So it has nothing to do with, because and the Kahf has to do with the Antichrist. The Kahf, the Surah Kahf, the cave chapter, it talks about Antichrist, but never mention Antichrist or Dajjal. We call it Dajjal. Okay? We call it Dajjal. We call it Dajjal. Dajjal, you couldn't say Dajjal come like this. Dajjal, whatever, you know. It's what we call it's the Antichrist. The Antichrist, Dajjal, okay? The Antichrist. I hope you guys see better. Okay, what happened? When Moses went with the Khidr, it doesn't say Khidr in the other narrative says Khidr. In the Quran it says just Abdan min ibadina. Okay, and Abdan min ibadina, that means or servant. Okay, one of the servant has more knowledgeable than Moses. Okay, that person is Jesus. It's Isa. Isa, we say Isa. Isa. You guys say Jesus. I don't know. Jesus or Jesus. Oh, no, it's Isa in Arabic. Isa. Okay. The Antichrist. هذا المسيح الدجال. مسيح دجال. Okay. But it was not mentioned. In this everywhere in the Quran. It was not mentioned his name, like Masih Dajjal or Dajjal. This name is not mentioned. Okay, but it was a lot of verses. They were talking about his phenomenon. Okay, but never mentioned his name. Okay, well, he was like. So he was when he went for a trip with the Moses. He what happened right here. I'm gonna have translation here so I don't want to make mistakes. Okay. قال ذلك ما كنا نبغي فارتد على آثارهما قصصا. Okay. After he talked to him about, I forget about caught fish. In the translation I say is a boat. Okay. قال ذلك ما كنا نبغي فارتد على آثارهما قصصا. Moses said, this is what we were seeking. When his boy told him, oh, I forgot, you remember the rock. Then he said, we were seeking, that's what we were seeking, or seeking. So they returned following their footsteps. So they returned following their footsteps, so they can go to straight to that rock. okay? Because it's like give him a hint that the rock, that's where he's gonna find the person with knowledge, so he teach him through a journey. He's gonna make another journey, okay? What happened? فوجد, okay, here فوجد عبدا من عبادنا آتيناه رحمة من عندنا وعلمناه من لدنا رحمة, okay, and they found a servant from among our servants to whom we had given mercy from us and had taught him us a certain knowledge, okay. So he find that person. The person فانطلق حتى إذا ركب في السفينة خرقها قال أخرقتها لتغرق أهلها لقد جئت شيئا إمرا. Okay, and then when they find that person, then he say, "Oh, I'm gonna go journey with you, so you can help me, teach me, give me some knowledge." Okay, he say he's not gonna be patient with me. Are you sure? You guarantee that you're gonna be patient? He say, "Yes, I'm gonna." So Moses replied, "This is not the point of this video here, so I'm just making it quick." So they set out until they had embarked on the ship. He tore it open. He tore it open. He broke it. He broke the floor somewhere. Moses said, "Have you torn it open to drown its people? So you want to make them drown? You have certainly done a grave thing." Okay. So here's the answer. After they finished the trip, he made three things. He made major things. Moses, he couldn't understand it, or he couldn't perceive it somehow. So he said when he finished the trip, he gave him the interpretation of this, what I did. Okay, the person said, "أما السفينة فكانت لمساكين يعملون في البحر فأردت أن أعيبها وكان وراءهم ملك يأخذ كل سفينة غصبا." Okay, بالعربي. Let's do Arabic first. Okay, أما السفينة فكانت لمساكين يعملون في البحر فأردت أن أعيبها وكان وراءهم ملك يأخذ كل سفينة غصبا. Okay, السفينة الملك هو الدجال. قلنا أمير Admiralty law. Okay, الأمير okay, الاميراليتي اميرالي. اوكي، القرآن تقول الملك. اوكي، القرآن تقول الملك يأخذ كل سفينة غصبا وراءهم ملك يأخذ كل سفينة غصبا. ملك. In the Quran says, let me go translation. So he said, as for the ship, it belongs to poor people. That's the translation, okay? Translation from Google. It belongs to poor people working at the sea. So I intended to cause defects in it, as there was often after them a king who seized every ship by force. Okay, it was after them a king who seized every ship by force. Okay, by force. He said the king. Okay, the king is like where we say king register, right here. Register. To register, right? Okay, to register in Latin has two names. Register. Regis. It means a king. King, right? Okay. Three times. Something has to do with three. Okay. Trinity. The Trinity. Okay. The king register. To register. Now you have to register everything. Your car, your home, your house, your baby. If your baby born, you have to register. So everything now goes to the king, which is the Jed. The Emiralty, Amir al-Bahr, Seattle, right here, Seattle, right? Got it? I hope we're right like this. Seattle in old Scandinavian language, the old one, not the common one. Seattle, C is a C, بحر. Okay, بحر. وعطل. وعطل. عطل. وعطل means father, the father. Okay, the father of the sea, Seattle. Okay, bear with me here. I'm gonna go to this later on. You guys remember what I'm saying about Seattle? Seattle. You know who's in Seattle right now? Huh? أمير البحر. أمير البحر. ملك البحر. أبو البحر. أبو البحر. Okay. أبو البحر. The father of the sea. The sea father. The sea father. Sea father. You know who's the sea father? You know, bear with me here. I'm gonna track Dajjal from the history right here. Dajjal is Dajjal. There are two things. Dajjal has a system. Okay, his system, not system. Let's say it's a religion. Okay, in Arabic we say deen. Okay, the deen in Arabic is misinterpreted too. Deen in Arabic is a system. Deen Allah, system of Allah. Okay, and the system, the Dajjal has its own system, his own deen, which is the Admiralty law, the commerce of the sea, the commerce of the sea. That هذا هو الدين ديال دين الدجال. That's the Dajjal religion. Okay? Religion. Okay? Religion. Religion. And it has a lot of systems. So he used a lot of systems. Each system is a ship. System. It has a lot of systems all over the world. Okay? Each system is a ship. Okay? These are systems. Each one is a ship. Okay? Yes, السفينة. 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 Okay, it's a ship. السفينة. Like we say, statesmanship. Statesmanship. Statesmanship in Arabic we say characters يعني رجل السلطة، يعني مناهج ولا متميزات ديال رجل السلطة، مؤهلات رجل السلطة، مؤهلات رجل السلطة ورجل الدولة. Okay, statesmanship. Okay, so what happened here، كان وراءهم ملك يأخذ كل سفينة غصبا. It's multidimensional. The cave, the chapter of the cave has nothing to do with something happened in the past. Maybe it happened, but necessary or not necessary only in the past. It's happening right now, and will be happening for a short of time, because we're coming to the end, the last phase of the Antichrist. This is the last phase. That's why they're going crazy. The Gog and Magog, they're going crazy. Chemtrail things, you know, they're going crazy. They're just doing everything quick, fast, destroying. They want to destroy us, not the land. Nobody can destroy the earth. The earth will rebuild itself. Okay, but they're destroying through the chemtrail, through the vaccines, through those what they call the wars. You know what I mean? The wars, a lot of things. Cloning. Oh, you guys, so you don't know the cloning? When are you gonna know about the cloning? It's in the Quran too. Okay, here أما السفينة فكانت لمساكين البحر، كانت لمساكين في البحر. Okay, he said for and for the ship, it was belonged to poor people working at the sea. So I intended to cause defect in it, as there was after them a king. King, he seized every ship by force. Okay. كانت مساكين في البحر. They said poor, right? They said I broke the ships out. No, the king is not gonna take that ship from those poor people. They working in the sea. But this is very minor interpretation. It's minuscule. It's not. It's ليس بشاملة. Okay. No, the masakin. They said masakin, they are poor people. They were working in the sea, in that ship, who the header broke. Okay, or made it defect. So masakin. Okay, masakin. It's something. Masakin. It's they say the poor people. That's poor translation, interpretation. Masakin is for a people who are stationary, static. Stationary. But the translation, of course, I don't want to say what they tell you something that I'm lying. No, the word masakin, they say poor in translation. Poor, okay? But I say it's that stationary, static, okay? No globalization, no imperialism. You understand? It's static. And then if he didn't break it, he was gonna, the king, Admiralty, he was gonna come and take it. That's what's happening right now. So whatever I'm translating here, I'm explaining, it's happening. You don't even need, even you Muslim Arab, you don't need my explanation. It's happening in front of you. So don't look at what I said, the explanation, then you go to the books, what they interpret to you. They mischeat, they misleading you. They misleading you with that wrong translation or interpretation. Why they are the one who controlling, they doing what they are working for the jet. Okay, so what happened, masakin is something stationary, static, serene. Okay, so what happened, they come and the Muslims, they say, oh, well, I was one of them. I say the same thing. Oh, the Bible was falsified. Yes. Somebody wrote the Bible. Yes. Somebody misinterpreted. Yes. But how about the Quran? The Quran, you guys and your masters, the Gog and Magog, they misinterpret even worse than the Bible. The Quran is still there. The book, the script is still there. The language, the old language Quran was written with is still there. But what we have here, it's not Quran at all. It's not the language of the Quran. Excuse me. So it's falsified too. You are falsified. So we are all in the same ship. The ship of the Dajjal, of the prince. Okay? So just take that العجرفة ولا الغرطاسة, the hubris, thinking, oh, I know better. No. If you excuse me. If you know, you have to know the language. You can go to the university, but they're not gonna teach you this stuff. They're not gonna teach you this. You have to come up. You have to have use mind. You use your mind. You're inside. Use the mind. You use what's going on nowadays. Okay. When you're up on that phone, you're looking at the videos. You're just looking at pictures. It's just a picture, energy. Okay. So what what happened here? That's a rock. Okay. That's a rock. Right here, مجمع البحرين. مجمع البحرين. That's the Mediterranean Sea. That's Atlantic Ocean. I'm sorry. What happened? The rock was here. By the beach, rock was here, right here, right here. This is the rock, right? Okay. What happened? That's Spain. That's Morocco. That's where I'm from originally. Okay. Okay. I was a king twice in this country in my past life, my 2 past life. Nobody knows that. I'm not gonna say who I were in my past life. Okay. Twice. Okay. Okay. Right here, what happened? The trip of Moses and the Khidr, it was in here. It was nowhere else. The Qarnayn, Sabri Amin, the Qarnayn, you're right about the Qarnayn, the other side. But here has nothing to do with the Qarnayn. Has nothing to do with the what they call the هذاك مجمع البحرين ديال البحر الأسود مع قزوين يأجوج ومأجوج. لكن هي هنا هذا كان هنا الدجال، هنا الدجال البوت القارب، البوت القارب here the boat he took off وأخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا. Admiralty, he took off. This is the ground zero right here. Right here is the ground zero. The ground zero of the jet. Okay? The ground zero of the Admiralty law. Of the Admiralty law. Okay? And it's the energetic operation. هنا الطاقة what they call energy, the energetic operation, the ground zero of the energetic operation. From here, the energy start right here. All the energy we use in the commerce, we use in the technology, we use in the monetary system. يعني هذا القانون النقدي monetary system, it start all right here. But I'm gonna track the jet. I'm gonna track the jet from the beginning till the end, till where we're at now. I'm gonna track the jet personally. I will say personally, who is the jet? Okay, the Dajjal, the Antichrist. Antichrist doesn't mean against. Yeah, anti means against, but Antichrist is the altar. Is the altar of the Christ. Okay, it's not against. It's the altar. المسيح يمسح. Okay, مسيح الدجال is the altar. Okay, the Antichrist is when we said ground zero starts from here, from Morocco. That's a rock, or here, somewhere around here, rock. Gibraltar. Okay, Gibraltar. You know Gibraltar. You know the people in the military. They know the Gibraltar right here in Spain. Right here, Gibraltar. Okay, Gibraltar. Okay, so from here the energy start right here. But I'm gonna track. I have enough time so I can explain the Dajjal, the Antichrist from the beginning of his story. Okay, of his time. Okay, but Dajjal, he has. Listen to me, it's very well here. The Dajjal, the Antichrist, he has Jewish mindset with Arabic tongue. عقلية يهودية ولسان عربي. هذا جد مهم نعرفوا هذا. وكنا نتكلم على عقلية يهودية، حيت لما نتكلموا على اليهود خصنا نضبطوا شكون هما اليهود، لأن كاين يأجوج ومأجوج، الترك هادو تيحسبوا راسهم يهود لأن تيغتنموا فرص، لأن تيتبعوا القانون الاميرالتي اللي هو تيحكم الآن بطبيعة الحال، هو اللي يقوم بعملية حروب. متى غادي يديروا الحرب مثلا كان 11 سبتمبر وداك الشيء. يعني هنا تيجيو بزاف كثير من اليهود تيقولوا بأن اليهود هما ترك، أصل ترك ماشي من تركيا، الأصل التركي يأجوج ومأجوج. هادو اللي كيحكموا دابا العالم، تيحكموا العالم بإعانة الدجال سيتو هذا الدجال. So this is what I gotta stop here because it took already a long time, and I will explain Dajjal, tracking Dajjal. Dajjal, he's multi-dimension shapeshifter. Multi-dimensional shapeshifter. He's the one who's boosting all this matrix. The matrix we're living, he's the one who he's what they call the architecture. They call the architect as a Dajjal. But who's boosting or who's controlling his matrix, playing with it? They are Gog and Magog. They are human beings, but they are not human. They are different human beings. They are very different human beings. We can call them jinn. Okay, it's jinn as an adjective, but they're human beings. But they're not. They have a good and they have some good people in them, and they have some bad people. But they lie. They know how to deceive. They use the language, and I think they are the Phoenicians too. The Phoenicians, I think they are Gog and Magog, and they're not. They cause something. They cause, let's say, they want to make a war, right? But they don't fight. They use some poor Jewish people kill or get killed, or some mentally poor people like Arab people kill or get killed. So they are the war. They make they design the wars. They design them. Say, how are we gonna do? They do it with the monetary system. They do it with the commerce law. They do it with the economy, like, you know, a lot of things. And we saw all this. It's in front of our eyes. Everything is clear. Okay. So they are Gog and Magog. They are from, you know, that area of Caucasian. Okay, that's why they say Caucasian here. Now they took it off from the forms. If you want to apply for some state jobs, they say, are you Caucasian? Are you white? You know, Caucasian, that means Caucasian. It's from the Caucasian Mountains area. Anyway, but they move out a long time from there. But they are the people who doing all this. All those politicians are Gog and Magog, Caucasians. Okay, but they play that game, Jewish. You know, we have to explain who are the Jews by their characters, by their religion. So they're not all of them are Jews. Some of them they're Jews. They convert to Judaism. They convert to Christianity and to Muslim. And all the Arab government controlled by Gog and Magog, Turks, the same thing. Okay, also even the people who controlling my channel right now, they're Turks. They're part of the Gog and Magog in Morocco. They're the one controlling the country, but they put the king, the cloned king, which is supposed to be my cousin by blood. They clone him, of course, with the help of the other Turks all over the world. They clone him. They're working behind the scene. They show the people, the poor mental people who don't understand their language. They show them the king like he's the one who ripping off the country, stealing. So it's a game. They do the same game. It's the same game. We're dealing with the same game from a long time. If you what the Quran says, what the Bible is same